putting things back in the boat, and this thing was rattling when I picked it up. What in the heck? You can still see there's some stuff down there. This is what came out of it. I picked a little magnet here. I think this is the washer on the piston pin, and that is a piece of the liner. It's not a piece of the piston because I grabbed it with a magnet. It's metal. It's ferrous, non-ferrous. What is it? You can pick it up with a magnet. Aluminum you can't. These are rod bearing needles. I don't know what this is. One of these got pushed through the piston that blew up as well. There's the piston pin lock ring. What is that? I'm trying to figure out what that is. Anyway, so apparently when the engine blew, it went up the exhaust port and into this muffler. I'm also cleaning up the interior. I had it cleaned up, but I cleaned up this plate, got the gasket on there, and I put the I'll show you this thing over here. What this is called, the exhaust portion. Anyway, I bolted this thing down, and then I realized you can't bolt it on. It has to bolt into the motor over there on my bench. You have to bolt this onto the motor, then you bolt the whole assembly into the boat. So took it back out and working on the last few wires on the engine. I think I've got just about everything figured out here, where everything goes. I am waiting for a spring. It's not going to be here till a few days. There's a spring inside this throttle control arm that has to be replaced. I put all the, the oil tank and the oil pump back on just for now, just to see where everything goes. And once I've got it where I think I want it, I'll take everything off. I just got to make sure I know where all the pieces go. But this thing is not going to be used, so I'm going to take it off. Oil pump, of course, is not going to be used. I pulled this little plug out, but I was just curious to see, where did this linkage go? And this linkage goes on to this throttle assembly over here, throttle link over here. It runs the snap that on. Come on, baby. So when you give the gas, it also runs the pump. So that linkage will come off. This pump will come off. Don't know what this is. This is probably an oil line that I think goes to there's an oil line that comes off of the fuel pump, which is in the boat right now. So I'll leave this on for now. I don't know if I'll need it or not. I'll either need to plug it or something, so we'll find out. But that's where we're at. We're getting close. So I've been messing around just trying to figure out where pieces go. I'm down to just a couple of items that I don't know where they're at, where they go. Probably like 5 items. Figured out where these bolts go. This holds a bracket on it, holds a fuel pump on, I believe. There's I found this gasket, and my new gasket kit has this in it. I goes, where does that go? It goes underneath the is that the fuel pump? No, this is the fuel pump, goes here. What is this over here? It's some sort of fuel system. There's a bracket that goes on there. And I just got new tubing for all these bleed lines, so I'm going to replace them. I took most of them off to work on the engine, so I'm going to reroute those, cut new. It's in fairly good shape, probably would work, but I'm going to put new on since I've got the thing apart. And this throttle arm didn't have the spring, so I just got the spring today. So we're going to place that, or it's not that one, it's that one. yeah, we're getting there. I always say that. Probably should stop saying it, but it's a lot closer than it was, put it that way. So that there goes a washer, and holy smokes, it's way in the back. You know what? Is that the right washer for? I think it is. Yeah, I found it. Okay, so I could take this thing off. So there's a bushing there that there's a bushing here. There's two bushings actually. They're both there. They're correct. This guy, I'll probably put it in wrong, but all right. Where's my scissors? Where's my knife? Open this bag up. There's the spring. I'll probably find it now that I never saw anything like this though, so I think the guy left it out when he sold it to me. That doesn't go like that. That doesn't go like that. What the heck? Oh, here it goes like that. Hold on. Yeah. All right. So this, wow, that's gonna have some tension on it if that's where it's supposed to hook right there. Holy smokes. Oh yeah, it's going in there. Hope it's right. If not, we'll put it back on again. Oh, I'm backwards. I gotta hit this stop. All right, well, hold on. I'm gonna get that on there. It's gotta go like this. Maybe I need to put it on here first. There. There. Oh, how do I get it by that? It's gotta go. I'm on the wrong side of the. Maybe I could kind of go sort of kind of ish. Like that. Man, now it doesn't want to go together. All right, what's going on here? It's got to be a better way. Well, just so you guys don't have to watch me fumble around, I'm going to shut her down. No, I'll leave it on for a few more minutes. Get this thing out of the way. It's bugging me. It's going to be replaced anyway. Come on. I'm going to tip the motor over. I don't want to be sitting on that bearing. All right, so it's probably, I could take that off, it'd be easier probably. Man, what's the deal, McNeil? I can get it. If I took that out, would that make any difference? What's the trick? Put on that side. All right. I'll figure it out. Okay, so what I did was every time I had this thing spread far enough apart to get beyond this stop, you had to pry it apart, and when you did, the spring would come out the side. So finally I just went beyond and had the stop hold it. The spring came out the side, and I used a screwdriver and I just pushed the spring back in and clamped it together, and it works. So I'm not going to take it apart to show you again, but you can do it. That's how I did it, and so there you go. So this, according to my manual, this washer goes on this side. It kind of looks like it because that looks like that's where it was wearing. Here's the bolt that goes in there. You know what I'm going to do before I put that in there? I'm going to replace all of these lines. But I'm going to double check them to make sure that they do indeed go where I put them. Just seems like there should be a better way to route some of these. But I'm going to check the manual and do them one at a time, replace each one of these lines with my new hose that I just got. Okay, bonus video. Went to look at the manual, and this spring has to be greased before you put it in, so I took it back apart. So let's see if I can get this in for the second time without ruining it. Okay, last time I had to keep it a little bit apart. Okay, so the spring's bounced up there. Now if I can push it back in. Got it. There it is. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh yeah. Probably a little overkill on the grease. You can never have too much grease, right? I don't know. Alright, so this guy, it's going to go in there, but man, I don't like these bleed lines the way they are sitting. Don't like it. I wonder if I can... Maybe I can zip tie them later. I don't like them behind because they're going to get caught. It's supposed to be behind or in front, guys. I would think you want them in front. If you have them behind, they're going to get caught. Can you see what I'm doing? Hold on a sec. No. Hold on. Alright. So this arm. You gotta make sure you get this thing right too. I can put it in backwards. I believe that's correct, like that. Alright, so I need this washer, goes in the back. Here's the bolt. Is that supposed to be greased? No. This grease that was supposed to be greased. Washer on the back. I'll put it on the way it was because I can see the little scrape marks on it. Looks like it was like, doesn't matter, it's a washer. It was like this. I can see the overspray on the engine. Yeah, I don't like those bleed lines. But if you go underneath, it could really get kinked. I'll have to zip tie them out of the way or something. Wrong one. That's too loose. Go this way. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a nice spring action. Alright, so this guy goes like this. If not, we'll move it. It just seems. That's so crooked. It's probably wrong. It's catching it. Oh, this thing. Oh yeah, that's got some good spring to it now. Before, just the springs on the carbs weren't returning, but this spring here helps bring it back. Cool. Okay, I've got the Spark Advanced linkage that goes in here as well. Took off to put that spring in. It didn't help a whole lot, but I guess it did. Definitely easier to work without this linkage connected. All right. Don't know why that would. Does it automatically drop back on its own? I don't like the way that thing catches back here either. It's such a. I don't want any binding, and I don't want the cable to move either. I can imagine the more the cable moves, the trigger, those wires, people talk about, oh yeah, the wires came off the trigger. Yeah, I can see how, because it's constantly moving. There's got to be a better way to do this so that cable doesn't constantly move. So we can find out. But it seems to be working correctly, satisfactorily. All right. Okay, so put the flywheel on here. Hopefully I don't have to take it back off, but if I do, I've got the tools to do it. This was the washer that I thought has to be what goes underneath there. There's supposed to be a washer, and this is the nut. It's got a lock, like a nylon locking mechanism to hold it on there. It's supposed to be torqued to, according to my manual, 120 foot-pounds. I've got it at about 50 or 60 right now. I've got to find a way to hold this thing from spinning. There's a tool that you can get, but I don't have it, so there's got to be a way to hold that thing. But it's on there tight enough that I can lift it for sure. And I bought a tool which was very inexpensive. I think it was like 15 bucks. And it's the lifting eye, and it's also the removal tool. You can remove the once you take that nut off, you can screw this thing in. Actually, this goes on top of it like that. And as you screw this guy down, it pushes on that crankshaft and lifts the flywheel off. It's a piece of cake. So it's a tool that I think you definitely need so you don't ruin up. If you're taking this flywheel off, it's inexpensive. And they're saying that this thing has to be spun in at least 5 times. I'm going to go more than that. I'm going to go as far as I feel it starting to hit. And here's the lifting eye. I'll put him down there. I don't want to hit anything yet. That should be good. Alright, and got my handy dandy engine hoist that I bought at Harbor Freight years ago to do a transmission and engine. And I've used it a few times, not many, but I think the first time I used it paid for itself. So yeah, I can't get it underneath here because I got stuff underneath my bench. Hold on. All right, we're close now. So still off by a little bit. What I need to do is lift it up so I can get the I don't know what the thing's called. Part of the jet pump. It has to bolt to that jet pump block. So I need to lift this up and set it on there. Let's see if we can get it up without ruining anything. It's kind of scary. This thing's supposed to lift a quarter of a ton. That's 500 pounds, right? I don't think the engine's any more than 300. So we should be okay. Still scary. All right, I'm gonna line everything up and kind of check things out before I drop it back down there. Okay, I have the gasket, or have the, hold on, I'm gonna tell you what that thing is. Expansion chamber exhaust plate is what this guy is. And there's a gasket there. The part that's going to bolt to the motor. There's also the back part that bolts to the exhaust. So hopefully I wish I could get it just a little bit closer, but I think hopefully we don't go flying down too fast here. We're going to let it down really slowly. Tricky. Boy, I wish I could get that. Should I just bolt it up like this without dropping it down? It just doesn't look right. What the heck is going on? Does not look right. All right, guys, I gotta do some figuring out here. That doesn't line up right. Unless those bolts aren't supposed to go in there, but they're not long enough to go in there afterwards. Okay, it lines up. I took the gasket off and it does fit up in there, and I actually took the plate off or lifted it up, but just kind of wasn't quite the right angle, so I kind of lifted that up a little bit. I'm going to drop it down a little bit here, ever so slightly, slowly, slowly. Let's stop it right about there. So, it would be handy if I had the right socket right now. Let me see if I can find it. There he is. Actually, that looks too loose. It's not a half inch. That's close to 14 millimeters. close to some American equivalent. SAE. There it goes. Fit the bind. Just gonna slip that up. Alright. Here's the next one. We have to raise it up, but I don't want to put too much tension on the plate. Okay, I'm going to lift this up a little bit, ever so slightly. You stay there. Right. That's too. Fix this up a little bit. I don't want it to go crooked. Well, I need to raise that back end up. Sorry about my back. Call me John Back Video. That's all you ever see is my back. Man. We're going to raise it up a little bit more. Back down a little bit. Whoa, oh, too fast, John. Slow, slow, slow. Okay. Man, don't like the way that's sitting. Crap buckets. Maybe I'm just gonna have to lift it up and hold it up there because I don't want it to bind. It's not sitting flush there. I'll have to mess with it a little bit. Okay, so what I did is I loosened up all the bolts and then I tightened it back on in sequence. There's two middle ones, then you do the next two, then you do two back here, two up here, two back there, and torqued them down. My book says 35 foot-pounds. So first I snugged them, then I went to 30, then I went to 35. Now we've got this Who's and Fritzits, whatever the heck it is, exhaust adapter. It goes back here. Sorry, you're not gonna be able to see it, but I can't get my I can't get this engine stand adjusted so you can see it, guys. Sorry. What in the world? It doesn't go that way. It's gotta go the other way. Got a new gasket. What are we hitting? There we go. And we have some nuts to go on there. We have nylon inserts, lock nuts. No, there's probably a sequence, so we'll check the book on these. Just kind of getting them. It'd be easier to put that in after it's in the boat, but I guess it can't hurt to do this. So it is making it heavier. I don't think we're over 500 pounds though. This thing weighs about, I think that thing weighed about 10 pounds. 10 pounds of aluminum, 20 pounds of aluminum. Come on, get it started. I can't get it started. I wonder if that thing's screwed. The bolt is cross-threaded or something. Let's try a different one. I might have to get a... Wow. It's not starting. Tap on there. Check these other ones. That one goes on. That one goes on. This one goes back again. It's tricky. It's almost like someone stripped these. It's not lining up, dudes. I might have to get a tap and kind of clean that a little bit. So we'll work on that. Okay, I had to take this expansion chamber off, and the one bolt just wouldn't go on. I had to keep turning it just right. Finally made new threads, and it's on there. They're not new threads. I cleaned up the threads. So this guy here, there's gaskets go in between this attenuator and the box, or in the carbs, but I'm not going to put them on right now. I'm just doing this temporarily just to keep critters, bugs, whatever out of here. And I'm going to really soon see if I can't drop it in the boat. Hopefully I have enough clearance I can use it. I just want to protect the carbs, protect my boat. Plastic hits the edge instead of the metal. It's probably better. So hopefully there's enough room for it to drop in like this. If not, I'll take it off. All right.